Empower. Empower, the ultimate power. This is the Zegul Empower 18 3-inch touring sea kayak. I mean, I love this boat. It is fast, it's responsive, can pack a ton of gear in it. And it's just everything kind of I'm looking for in a touring kayak, and they've really nailed it on this one. Starting up here at the bow, we have our in-water swim toggle. Important feature to have if we do find ourselves out in the water going for a swim or having to help somebody else's boat. Having this toggle, being able to grab a hold of that as a secure place to really get a grip on your boat while you swim it over to help is a great feature to have. Very narrow, like a knife here at the front. Super sharp entry line, flares out to about 21 inches at the widest point. So it is a responsive boat. I'm not going to say it's super stable because it's not, but it is fast and it flies. Further back here, you'll see all these little recessed deck toggles or deck fittings. It is a really nice feature to have. Just keeps everything kind of smooth and clean and, not pointing out and kind of looking unfinished. So they've done a really nice job on that. Full reflective perimeter line or deck line on these guys. So these guys, really pop when you shine a light on them in low light or at night conditions. We have a paddle park here, and we've got our little paddle bead as well. So a nice rubber bead, so it makes getting your paddle under there to store quickly really, really easily. Also, we have a recessed deck mount that we'll find on a lot of the Zegul kayaks, and this is going to fit your Silva P70 or similar size compass. This guy here does feature an ovalized forward hatch. I'm a big fan. I like the oval hatches. They make packing boats so much easier getting in and out. The one downside is they don't tend to be maybe quite as waterproof as a round one. I mean, bit of a big deal, bit of a not a big deal. As long as you have these lined up and sealed down properly, you're going to have minimal amount of water in there. I'm never going to guarantee any hatch is going to be completely waterproof. So anything that needs to stay dry inside of your kayak better be in a dry bag regardless. These are the Kayak Sport hatches. I'm a big fan. Really easy to get on and off, last a long time. They're UV resistant. They don't tend to break down. You can treat them really easily with like 303 or Armor All or something like that to keep them lubricated and keep them supple. Now, being a sea kayak, this does have a minimum of 2 bulkheads. So we have one here at the front, all carbon Kevlar construction. They've done a really nice job of the layup on the inside. They definitely take their time in building these boats and paying attention to all the quality and the fine details. A little bit further back, we've got some standard deck rigging here, our bungees. And a great place to stash, a pump or your map case, any type of stuff that you're going to want to have really close at hand on the deck of the kayak. A little bit further back, we've got our glove box, we like to call it. Really convenient spot to house sunglasses, maybe some sunscreen, camera, GPS, radio, whatever you want to put in there and have, really close at hand. That's just super easy to grab, again, in a, dry style compartment. They're pretty deep too. There's plenty of space in here. So you can really organize it to, however you want. Doesn't seem to impede very much on the way in. It's all smooth lines on the way in there, so there's nothing really to get caught up on if you're trying to exit the kayak quickly or get into it quickly. As we come into the cockpit, it's a generous sized cockpit. It is really narrow. I mean, this is a pretty narrow kayak at 21 inches. So it can be tight for some people getting in. They call this the Empower HV. I don't entirely agree with it being an HV boat. I mean, it is and it isn't. I feel the cockpit is tight enough that it could almost be designated an MV or medium volume. But there's certainly enough volume in this kayak to float even the biggest paddler. It's just whether, the larger paddlers are going to be comfortable getting into it. At my size, I'm about 5'10", 200 pounds, and this is a tight fit on me, but I really like it. I like a kayak that fits tight. It's certainly very responsive, so you got to, keep your game on when you're paddling a kayak of this style because you can really put your inputs into it and get the kayak to do what you want. So on the inside of the kayak here, we have our integrated thigh hooks. They're glassed into the cockpit rim. Generally, there is no adjustment on them, so we're going to have to slide the seat and the backrest to make any changes in that. But we also have adjustable foot pegs on there on a really easy system that just lifts and slides and clicks back into place. So if you need to make some adjustments while you're on the water, really easy to do that. The seating and the back band on these guys, it does have a slightly padded seat. I find them really comfortable. It's not for everybody. If this is your first sea kayak, you might find it a little uncomfortable compared to some of the more recreational style models that are out there. But once you get used to a seat like this, they're incredibly effective and very, very efficient. The Zegul solid backband is a blessing and a curse. They're a little difficult to make those adjustments. Obviously, you're not going to make them on the fly because you do need some tools to move things around. But once you have them locked in place, super effective, especially on those re-entries. If we're out in the water practicing re-entries or we're in a real scenario where we got to get back in the boat, really easy to slide back in there without having the seat kind of fold up underneath you, get caught on your skirt and that type of thing. So it is a really effective system once you have it laid out for you. Fairly deep cockpit on this. You can see, I don't know if it shows up so well on the video from that angle, but you can really see the angles are squared up on this, so it, you know, kind of comes up as like a trapezoid almost. So there is a lot of height in the bow of this, and that's, you know, I think helps its HV status a little bit, as there is that height of the boat. So you can, you know, if you've got long legs, it's really going to fit you really, really well. But it's not a wide boat. So again, that kind of comes into the stability. And we'll talk about, you know, how that plays out with the hull and the rest of the features on this kayak in a minute. We do have a bulkhead in behind the seat. It is a slightly sloped bulkhead coming right up to the edge of the coaming here. So when we do flip it over to drain it out, no water is really going to get trapped in here underneath the coaming. So it's really effective to kind of help, you know, eliminate all the water that's in the cockpit when we flip it over to get back in the boat. Fairly aggressive cockpit rim that you're going to find on most composite boats. It's going to work best with a bungee style neoprene deck. That's going to work the best for keeping water out if you're into rolling, that type of stuff. And they're less prone to implosion compared to nylon ones as well. So they fit really tight. You got, you know, nice clean deck surface, and chances of water getting into the cockpit while that's installed are very, very low. Lastly, here on the cockpit of the boat, we have our skeg deployment system here. Fairly low profile. It sticks about, I don't know, half an inch or so. It's in a pretty good place. I've never had too many issues with it as far as, like, you know, hitting my finger or thumb off the side of it and causing any, you know, minor injuries while out on the water. Slides really easily. Just down, up. Just behind, we've got a bit more bungee here. So if if you're one to put a pump behind you, some of those features that you want to have close at hand, it's all there to grab. We also have our day hatch here located right behind our cockpit. It is offset to the right. So getting into this while you're on the water is really easy. Fairly voluminous. You've got a lot of space in here for anything that you might need with you. A lunch, first aid kit, throw rope, extra poncho to keep you dry and warm, you name it, you know, whatever you want to kind of have close at hand. This is where I put my stuff. Come a little bit further back, again, we have our oval hatch here. Tons of volume in the back here. Another bulkhead here. So we do have 3 bulkheads on this boat. We've got one here, and then we've got another one separating these 2 compartments. And then finally, we have our stern hatch back here. So again, a lot of storage space on this kayak. Really effective. There is a skeg box in here, so to pack effectively, you know, just be mindful of what you're going to kind of pack around that. I generally will keep like a tarp or tent poles in back there. If I've got a narrow tent that I can fit in there, I'll kind of stuff it up and around it as well. Just, you know, trying to make most use of the space as I can. Again, a little bit more bungee back here behind, and again, our full perimeter deck lines. Lastly, you'll notice we do have these kind of 3 knockouts here, and this is for the rudder system. This kayak is available with a rudder as well. Generally, we only order them in with a skeg, but if a rudder is something that you would like to have, talk to us, and that's something that we can get done for you. And lastly, we do have our rear swim toggle here on the stern of the boat. So same purpose as the one on the front. We can use this to kind of help maneuver the kayak in and out and around, you know, whatever we need to do. So let's flip it over and have a look at the hull. So looking at the hull of the Empower, I mean, this is a long boat. Has a, you know, minimal to slightly moderate rocker profile. I mean, it's a fantastic design for a touring kayak, in my opinion. It doesn't offer great primary stability, but it does offer really good secondary stability. So this isn't going to be a hull I would recommend to maybe a new paddler, but someone who's maybe a little more seasoned, has a few miles under them, has paddled a couple sea kayaks before. This is going to be a great boat if you're looking for something fast and performance oriented. Up here, you can really see how sharp these entry lines are when we flip this guy over. I mean, it's really, really like a knife at the front. Tapers out nicely out to the cockpit and then kind of cuts back in a really nice form at the back near the skeg. Has a nice curve that blends into the chine here really nicely. So again, you know, I don't like to use the term stable or unstable, but it is twitchy. You know, it's a boat that responds really well to input. It's 21 inches wide, so, you know, it is going to, you know, sometimes feel like you're maybe on a bit of a balance beam. You got to be paying attention on a kayak like this, or, you know, it'll let you know and upset you really, really quickly. This is in the 3D C-Core layup, and this is a combination of a bunch of different materials in this lamination. So there's fiberglass, there's carbon Kevlar, we've got carbon on the ends, and we've got this multi-axial weave fabric on the inside here, which just pops. I mean, in the sunlight, it looks absolutely gorgeous. This material here helps stiffen and add some protection to it, and then it's all finished in a clear coat. You'll notice on this one here too, we do also have the integrated keel strip running down the center of the kayak. And not only is it cosmetic, but there is actually some reinforced layering that goes throughout the hull of this with the integrated keel strip, which is an upgrade on this kayak. We custom order these in colors and features to best serve our customers, but if you ever want to custom order one for yourself, we can absolutely do that for you. So the Zegul Empower is going to be best suited for your, I'd say, medium to large size paddler in that, 150 to maybe 200 pound range, who is looking for something fast, sporty, and can tackle a lot of gear. It's a great day tripping kayak as well as a multi-week kayak. I love paddling this boat. It's super responsive. You get it on edge and it still wants to just dance around almost like a playboat. Certainly not a playboat, but it has an amazing level of response to it. That gets me really, really excited. If this doesn't seem like the right kayak for you, you can have a look at the other kayaks in the touring line from Zegul, which would be the Bara and the Nuka GT, and you can check those videos in the description below. If you want to test paddle one, come see us here at Frontenac Outfitters. You can check them out online at frontenacoutfitters.com. Thanks a lot for watching.